Hello, fellow wannabe showrunners, and welcome to another Wannabe Showrunners, the show where we show you how much we want to be showrunners. I'm Scott LaFlesh, and I'm here with Ty Skinner. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well today. I'm feeling a bit like we're gonna do an old pitch
Weird delivery.
Weird delivery. I know. I feel like I just feel like we're gonna do an old pitch that I really like.
So Monday it's Monday. We're in the workshop. We're going to try and build something that we're going to eventually bring to the pitch stage, just like we did Chalcos in Season 1. And every week we're talking about another of our favorite pitches, the ones that we saw in Season 1 that we thought really could become something here in Season 2 to go all the way to the pitch phase. And when you say we're working on an old pitch, when you say that, you actually mean we're working on the oldest one.
March 25th.
No, we actually
came up with this idea before.
If I'm correct, our second Wannabe Showrunner stream in the old feed was this pitch, but written down. Like as on scrap paper, we worked on this pitch. So I think it goes back that far. I think I found the notes for it recently. We definitely did do that back in that period before we had the Word docs. So one of the oldest.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to start with this one?
I guess let's go over it. It's been a while since we worked on Merry Men, and of course this is in my wheelhouse. It's a redo of a mythology tale. It's the kind of thing I like to work on a lot. The idea is it's one of those prestige dramas set in modern day about a hacker group that's called. Our entry point is an individual named Arthur Bland, but it's a modern day hacker collective that's robbing from the rich and is given to the poor, basically. Same deal, Merry Men. Then we talked about this is kind of a sequel. It's a series we haven't seen yet, where the original Robin Hood stories are happening in the 90s or in aughts, right? Around the year Y2K. So late 90s, early 2000s, like in the .com boom, we have the...
But we're not going to talk about the second season in this.
No, but I'm just
talking
about...
That's where we seem to butt heads on what we should be doing for the second season, but...
but I'm just... So this is the sequel. We have a backstory, which is... It's kind of a fun thing to come into a story with a mysterious backstory that's not really developed. It's a group that had been developed by this mysterious hacker, Robin Hood, who's since long gone and is being run by...
She really has that iRobot feel. Not Mr. Robot feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Robot mixed with Matrix.
But, in terms of the hacking, I think, but I think it's got a more hopeful, this is still kind of a... It's definitely got that prestige drama, but it's got a goofier premise.
But we want to shoot it... I feel like you'd want to shoot this dark with a ray of... It's supposed to feel... because that's... Even the cartoon Robin Hood was very dark at the beginning. It's dark with a ray of hope. It keeps brightening and brightening and brightening the more...
Yeah. I think that those shows are more cynical. This has to be a hopeful
but you know what
kind of...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It is hopeful.
Yeah.
But usually they start off to show that it's like...
Oh, we're definitely starting in a dark, corrupt, where the authorities are corrupt kind of place, just like Robin Hood. Definitely.
Yeah, and... you'd want to be also with that it brightens up as the group comes more and more together.
Yeah, and this is something you really like to do. You like to play with filters a lot and with that kind of thing.
Yeah. But no, I don't even feel like you play with filters with this one as much as you just add
you turn up the brightness, basically.
No, maybe one of the things that happens in this is because this is in a center city type thing. I'd picture this being kind of like New York City, for example, or any major city.
Right.
And what if it is a park that's a park that also is the community center? So it's a green, a bit of green that's in the, and it just seems more green and flowers and more life, and that's kind of the thing for brightness instead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we wanted to have him have a community center by the end.
Yeah, I feel like our community center it's grown to be one of those,
Hello!
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I feel like our community center is in general kind of growing to be one of those like Assassin's Creed things where it's like, oh, throw it in, like it's too. But I do think we've got to. That's the kind of things we want to talk about. It's supposed to be a forest hideout, right? So it's got to be aesthetically. We've got to bring in some of that kind of thing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about work. Like it's been so long, I haven't seen much of it. So let's. Will Scarlet, he's the modern day leader of the Merry Men. He's kind of a brash, hot-headed. He'd been like the kid back in the olden days. We have Alan Adale, who's like a YouTube comedian.
He's our main character.
No, Arthur Bland. Ordinary business owner who's cruising the organization after he beats them. Right, like we want to start. We want to start up. We talked about starting up and setting up the Merry Men as adversaries. Initially, and then pretty quickly they're going to work together.
Okay. Just trying to think of something that would be like a funny... Because what type of or business is he own? It's like an internet cafe, isn't it?
Yeah. He's in a strip mall. That's kind of the thing, right? That's where the strip mall kind of morphs into the community center. Got Friar Tuck. She's a caring priest. Her username is Friar Tuck. Her real name is Pastor Tucker. Arthur Bland. Fox. Oh, this is the customer. A customer or a chef at the internet cafe. One of those people. Someone who's around who already trusts him. It's a reveal that person is Little John.
It's the chef at the internet cafe.
Yeah, I think we that's something we were kicking around too. I think. Maid Marian, who's an esports coach, and the villain. Oh, right. I was really thinking about like McAfee for this kind of thing. Like a real, Ron Perlman, but like an allowed shirt. Kind of like, yeah. In the pilot, Arthur is an internet cafe owner who's worked for Nottingham Antivirus, but was driven out due to professional embarrassment. Now has a grudge against the hacker collective Merry Men and spends his evenings hunting them down. He's a rich clientele who frequent his cafe because of the excellent security, and he despises his rich clientele. Okay, got it. We spend some time establishing that his life is lonely, and revenge and making money are the only motivations he has. End of episode 1. Wow.
Oh, we really rushed that.
Yeah, well, that's all we...
I know.
The Nottingham icon is the sheriff's badge. In the flashbacks, he's doing really cheesy Sheriff of Nottingham ads. He used to.
I thought we had way more of this than...
That's what's it called?
We worked 2 hours at least on this, I feel.
Yeah, probably. But we did go back and forth on it a lot. Probably a lot of stuff went in and came back out, as you're doing when you're brainstorming an idea.
Yep.
And also, I do think we got more efficient as we went along. Some of the earlier ones, I think, are less flashed out because we were just learning how to do this, right? That's kind of the fun here. It's these early season 2, going back on some of these early season 1 ideas and really seeing what we came up with, I think. Okay. So we're just kind of doing a montage kind of obsession with him, right? Like it's...
So how do you want to play this out? Do you want to come up with more of episode 1 breakdown? Do you want to do more of what the season's going to look like? Do you want to...
Yeah, I think that's
flesh out more of the characters?
I think we have our characters. To me, I think we want to... Like... Episode 1, I think there's probably another paragraph in that, but I wouldn't mind kind of hitting episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and just kind of plotting out the season in that kind of way. If that makes sense to you.
Okay, so how many episodes do you think this should be?
What are you thinking? It's not a 24. You think 6. Okay.
Kind of think this fits into the 6 episode arc.
That's small.
That is small. But I feel like you want to rush what you're trying to put.
Okay.
10 you could get away with 10. But I feel like I actually could even see this being 3.
I know you love the 3.
I love the 3.
The 3 really only gets done like...
I know, but that's the thing is this is that kind of like if you
it is.
This is that kind of prestige drama that I feel like you are trying to tell kind of a Sherlock Holmes-y type story to it as well.
In a lot of ways, right? It's like a retelling of a British like classic, like that kind of You almost could go with the same crew and do the whole
Exactly.
same production company, like make the same like.
Exactly, but I don't.
You could convince me to do 3.
I think we keep it small though. Is the whole thing.
Okay.
Maybe see. Okay, 6 to 10 is where I'm at.
Okay.
Let's see how we plot these episodes out.
So by the end of episode 1,
Yeah, what do you want to have happen by the end of episode 1?
I think the Sheriff of Nottingham. Remember, that's his old boss, right? So the Sheriff of Nottingham has to come back into his life somehow, and he has to be on the trail of the Merry Men.
Okay, what does Arthur do in this?
What? Arthur's our only point of view by the
Yeah, no, but what does Arthur what does Arthur do in this? Because he's not in the Merry Men yet.
Right.
He's
hunting them.
So he's part of Nottingham still?
No, not anymore.
Why is he hunting them?
Because he was embarrassed, like because of well, at least what we have right now is his professional embarrassment. Because the Merry Men like did something, caused the thing that caused him to get fired from Nottingham. And so he's now like on a revenge. He thinks if he can't hunt him down, maybe he can get his job back. Whatever that kind of thing is. But it doesn't have to be that. We could have him not have anything to do with Merry Men and he'd just be another hacker. Like I say, and we really want to have him run in. We want him to be in personal contact with the Sheriff of Nottingham. And I kind of think we want it to be friendly. I kind of think that later on he's going to be there into the Sheriff of Nottingham a little bit when they're working together.
Okay. Arthur's like legendary in the company.
Okay.
And when we have it when the Sheriff of Nottingham, like when he left the company, so did Arthur.
No, it can't be.
No?
He's got to be way late because Arthur's in recent. Sheriff of Nottingham was back in the 20 years ago now, right? Like 1999. Well, this is something we definitely talked about last time.
Yeah, I know.
Like we kicked that around is what I mean.
But why can't he have? Why can't he have also left the company and then built up an internet cafe instead and has spent the last 20 years?
It just
doing
feels
the internet cafe?
too long ago. And it makes him too old, I think.
Okay. Let's think of other reasons why he would be kicked out of, or why he would leave the antivirus thing. Because I'm not sure I like the idea of him having a grudge against the Merry Men.
Okay. Could he have been crooked?
No, we don't want to make him bad, do we?
But just because he was bad, it could be a reforming journey. You know what I mean? Like characters transition over time.
Mm-hmm. But we don't want to make him that kind of bad.
Because he is hunting the Merry Men right over.
Right.
But
I feel like that should be something that he's kind of asked to do because he has such legendary status. It's like, hey, we're looking for somebody who can do something a little bit more off the grid so it can't be traced back to us.
Yeah, I don't like that necessarily.
Why not?
I think it should be his own deal.
Hmm?
I don't think he should be doing it for someone else. I think he should be...
I think that's our connection are in with the McAfee character. No, not McAfee. Okay, we can't say that.
Yeah, the sheriff.
The sheriff.
But I don't think the sheriff is working for them anymore either.
Oh, what's our favorite movies?
It's our favorite movies. Mine's Pulp Fiction.
Definitely Tarantino stuff, yeah.
Yeah, Tarantino in general is really where... But honestly, if you watch long enough, I'll name drop everything from like from the Muppets Haunted Mansion to like.
Oh my
Disney.
God! Don't drop the Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, it's true. I guess our influences come from everywhere. Like I said earlier, I like remixes of old stories a lot too. So, like any version of King Arthur, I've probably seen all that kind of. Yeah, but Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie of all time. I like a movie with a good soundtrack.
I love like Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite movies. Same with Warriors. I like some of the classic cult movies.
That's true. You recently got into watching movies seriously. I haven't seen many movies throughout your life. What is your favorite now? What kind of genre are you watching, or that kind of thing? Really, we're big fans of like
Ooh.
The Shining. Nice. Okay, that's what I was kind of about to say. We're big fans of auteur filmmakers, right? Filmmakers who really control all the aspects of their thing, have like a clear vision. So Kubrick is a great example of that.
Yeah,
who made The
Kubrick is
Shining.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great, and it's perfect for October, right? We're in Halloween now. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know where to go from here.
Okay, so we've got three threads. We
Like
got
I feel I feel like what is it that you want to have them meet each other, but you don't want them to be friendly, or you do want them to be friendly?
I want the sheriff to be friendly with
Arthur, but Arthur's not friendly with the sheriff.
Yeah, I don't think he cares that much about him, but I do I think he's like a little bit wary, maybe. But I think maybe the way we do it is that the Merry Men and Arthur are after the same score. Maybe he is like a black hat hacker now, and they're after the same thing, and that puts them in competition. So he's in competition with them, but he's not hunting after them.
I like the idea. I don't know. For some reason, I like the idea of him being like a bounty hunter for hire type thing. And it's one of those things where, like, the sheriff comes to him and says, like, I need something done off the books.
I think that ties them together too early, though.
But the reason... No, he doesn't have to do... No, he could be doing... like, we could show him doing that kind of level of stuff.
Yeah.
That he does that... Like, he just does shady hacking behind the scene. But he has nothing to really do with... It has nothing to really do with the Merry Men. Maybe he stumbled across them in, like, form. We show him, like, stumble across one in the forum. But I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you just play it like he's not really seen these people at all. And, where his motivation to go after... Because, like, that's the reason why I'm playing it this way. Is because if he's a bounty hunter for... like that side, we keep him still as a good character. He's just doing a little bit shady stuff, but he has like he thinks he's doing like he at least has a mission that he thinks is for the good.
Yeah. Maybe that's like maybe we give him a mission for the good, but part of the fun of this to me is that he's just a random guy. Right? He's not an employee of the sheriff. When you tell the myth, he's not like he's just a woodcutter who's like, "What? You're coming through here? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." Right? Like,
I don't think I think the sheriff had to like look for him. Okay. I think we show him. We show in the episode when we're showing the sheriff him like going and getting like asking questions about like looking for he's clearly looking for somebody, and we like it's like a little like journey that he's on in the first episode looking for somebody.
Yeah, but now like...
But he doesn't have the name. He just is like looking for an alias.
Yeah. But that now that doesn't even make sense, right? Because I guess he didn't work for the company before. So they have no connection before. It's just only now he's trying to make a connection with them.
I think we make it that Arthur doesn't have any connection with the company.
Okay.
With Nottingham.
So he's just we could do that. I like that.
He's a nobody. He's just some random person.
Yeah.
Who got hired by the sheriff.
But why is the sheriff hunting them?
Why is the sheriff hunting because he's the one that got taken down.
Yeah.
By
so
the
he does that.
He realized the Merry Men came back. The Merry Men started being more of a presence.
Yeah, I think that we know the Merry Men are back. I think that. But the sheriff, I think.
And sheriff is trying to get his. Like, and he thinks if he can take down the Merry Men, or like...
Okay, no, that all does check out.
He can get back to... Or it's been like
But
20 years.
I definitely don't want to show the sheriff hunting for him.
No, the sheriff isn't hunting for who?
Arthur. I don't want to show. I definitely want the first scene of the sheriff to be him just in the bar, walking in and kind of being like a moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want him to be a POV character, really. I guess
Who?
The sheriff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, like, we don't actually have to show, but that's what could be happen. Like, in our story, that's what happened. He searched everywhere for him.
Okay, I'm going for that.
Like, this is like Neo.
Yeah.
He is a high-end hacker.
Right. Okay. See, this is why we don't have anything. We just get rid of more than we have to add. Okay. What are some other movies like The Shining while I'm typing this out?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, are we going based off of...
Based on whatever you think. You're a movie aficionado.
I know, but are we basing this off of the movie, like, Stanley Kubrick stuff? Because there's, like, Full Metal Jacket, there's 2001 Space Odyssey, there's Clockwork Orange. Oh my god, I love A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah, you love Clockwork Orange.
I love A Clockwork Orange. But, like, huge trigger warnings on that one.
Yeah.
And then if you're talking horror movies, you gotta stay with the old stuff. I don't know. There's something about the way the old ones were shot that really get the horror. Where a lot of...
Really hated Clockwork Orange. I'm with you. I tried to read the book too, and it's just like gibberish. It's just like, ugh.
Oh yeah, because he uses like a lot of slang that's from like...
imaginations.
No, like Bolivian language or something like that.
He's running the...
Trying to think of some good horror movies.
Okay, I know this again is my thing. I like to go... Yeah, there are definitely movies like that that'll just bring you to a dark place. Just like it'll make you feel depleted afterwards. But that's something too. That's catharsis in a way, right? It's like it empties out your whatever. Yeah. I have to say, horror. If you're looking for a good Halloween movie, that kind of thing, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods is really good.
It's a very different kind of movie from the kind of classics, but it plays with the genre in a way I really like. It's really meta, that kind of thing. Like, and I need some humor in my movies. I do. I need something to like get the pace going. Another one that really will make you feel depressed though is Heredity. Ugh.
I don't know that one.
During a heist,
Paranormal Activity was pretty good.
He was scared, but very different. It's not like a legend in filmmaking like these other ones.
It kind of is.
It definitely does some new things. I'll tell you, I used to be a security guard, and we watched Paranormal Activity one night at the very beginning of a shift.
Oh, no.
Before we had to do the patrols, and oh my goodness, what a mistake. What a mistake. I had so many nightmares that day. During a heist, he crosses paths with...
the Sheriff of Nottingham?
No, the Merrymen, and... later that day, the disgraced... Spelling that wrong.
I feel like you're missing something. He's running an internet cafe and after a high-end score. What? That's not a complete sentence.
Oh. And, like, not after. Well, I understand why that's... And seeking, like...
Okay, there we go. Oh!
Yeah, see? It does make sense if you're saying it out loud. Disgraced former...
It makes sense, though, also, with what definition of the word after you meant.
Exactly. Nottingham antivirus. Enters the cafe and drinks too much. When Arthur approaches to escort the man out, reveals that he is more wily he seems and offers Arthur a job. Hunt down the merry men. End of episode 1. Right?
No. Yeah? No, I don't feel like... I feel like you have this as the inciting incident for the episode.
That's too early, I think. I want to live with him for a little while. I really don't want... I don't want him to be wrapped up with the merry men until, I want him to be in the world and kind of see them, but I wanted to get the view of a normal person in this world before we tie him in, is the thing.
Okay, then we don't... He doesn't get the job.
He turns them down?
No, we have to have something that's more exciting about the sheriff being there. I think we have to show the sheriff. We would have to show the sheriff a few times about how he's back or something, like in the news or something like that.
Yeah.
About how he's back.
Definitely.
And all that. And build up this whole entire thing. Because then the last scene from the episode should just be him sitting in his cafe.
But I think the sheriff is a buffoon, right? I think we're doing a thing where, wanted murderer is back. Oh, whatever, no extradition treaty, whatever, he's been eccentric, whatever is back.
But I feel like I guess the whole point I'm trying to say is I feel like the hunt down the merry men should maybe be what we open up on for episode 2.
You don't want to end on a cliffhanger?
I feel like that is ending on the cliffhanger, is him just showing up and he's like, I have a proposal for you, and then that's how you end.
No, that's so...
Well, I guess not. Yeah, maybe not.
End on the hunt down. And again, I really like the...
I just feel like end on just him being there.
But that's I really want...
How do we end on just him being there?
No, because... to me, the Sheriff of Nottingham is a really fleshed out character. And, if for him to walk in and be like, oh, I have this business... That's not...
he doesn't have that... he just shows up. He's just him being there should be enough of,
That's not enough.
If we build it up.
No, I don't think we can build that. And again, I think it's something where he's getting drunk. I think it's more what? You know what I mean? Then it's a more fun thing. It's he's making a fool of himself. He's really, loud and that kind of thing. And then Arthur's like, I'm going to have to say something. And he's he goes up and then, he's alcohol breath in his face, but he's listen. He's putting on a show. He's wily. He's doing that for...
Why is he drinking?
What?
Why is he drinking? Wouldn't have alcohol in it.
You have a high-end chef in there. Why is he not having alcohol? You have alcohol in regular internet cafes, I think.
No, you don't.
You have bubble tea and stuff.
But not alcohol.
I think that's
usually not.
If you want to have a high-end chef, I want to have drinks, right? It's like an internet bar. It's you're more likely to have alcohol than you are likely to have a chef.
Let's drop the chef. Let's just have this as a more sleazier.
I guess
like a stain on the town.
Yeah, that's why you would have an.
But if you have a hot, but no, just a stain on the town where it's just an empty room, kind of with desks type thing for people to how these internet cafes are.
I just thought that was I've been really attached to this way to introduce the sheriff for 6, 8, 10 months. Of the sheriff, you really are trying to make the sheriff kind of a boring character compared to where I was with him.
You haven't told me anything that makes the kid. You just
He's like a real wild card. Like I say, he's
but
really
no.
like,
But why is he drunk?
What?
No, I mean, like I can understand, but why is he have like? I feel like he'd be getting kicked out way before if he's drunk. Like I don't know. Arthur wouldn't put up with his shit.
This is the moment where he's putting him out, right?
But Arthur would not have put up with his shit that early. It would like the way you have it makes it seem like he has to cause more of a scene for Arthur, and Arthur wouldn't listen to him. Arthur would tell him to get the fuck out.
Maybe he does.
That's why I feel like him causing a scene is too much. You have to tone it down with him being drunk. He can be causing a scene, but he can't be causing a drunken scene. There's a difference. If he's causing a drunken scene, Arthur just wouldn't have the time for him.
I think
I just feel like that character wouldn't you just would lose all he would lose all credibility.
That's what I want. I want him to have no credibility, but then
But he wouldn't even. That's the point I'm trying to say is that turn there wouldn't be any credibility for that turn.
I think you can
Arthur would just throw him. He'd be like, "Okay, buddy," and just toss him out.
But no, because he knows who he is. We've built up him all season, all up. You wanted to have him just be in the bar,
Right? But I just think if he can be causing a scene, he just can't be causing a drunken scene. The drunken scene takes away the credibility for him.
I think the opposite. I think why is he causing a scene if not for the alcohol? What scene is he causing?
Then what? Why is he drunk? What? Like, what's the... Or, it sounds like you don't even want him to be drunk. You want him to be pretending to be drunk.
No, I want him to be able to hold his liquor. I want him to be a man who's been on the run for whatever, like a real that kind of thing. And I want him to be able to, like, that kind of thing and play it up, but also to really be able to hold it and to be able to, like, navigate through it. I want him to be a real wild card. Yeah, he's drunk because exactly.
I understand that. It's what him talking just real would not turn Arthur. Arthur is too serious. Like
he would call him by his screen name.
I feel that
call him by his screen name. Be like, listen to me, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like that's the, like, and you could sell it through Arthur's reaction. He's hunted him down.
The screen name is weak. I feel like it has to be like because he'd be at his. I feel like he'd just like. In his computer or something like that, and on the computer is like his profile type stuff or something like that. Like it's like all like his hacking pseudonyms and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing. I want to like to be a joke that all of a sudden turns and becomes like deadly serious.
But I feel like you can't have like. Do you want to have him being recognized?
What the hacker?
When he's no, when he's drunk. Do you want the sheriff of the sheriff of Nottingham to be recognized by the audience when he first shows up drunk, or do you want it to be the reveal when he kind of like?
No, I want it to be because all episode it's been that kind of thing, right? It's been that kind of like, oh, it's on the news. That kind. I kind of want it to be, oh my god, this crazy guy's like, yeah. And it's exactly that kind of thing. He's been through the shit. Whatever, he's accused of murder. He probably like, oh, he had like a big pack of dogs, like the full deal. I want him to be almost like a warlord, who live like in that kind of like fully like. If you wanted to drop the alcohol, let's make it Coke.
I can get behind that. Because there's a different type of scene that he'd be making. I feel like the type of scene that he'd be making if he was drunk is just a little bit more, like you just wouldn't take them as serious. You'd be like, okay, like...
let's move on past this. You're really hung up on whatever this inebriation it is. I know.
No, I just don't like him being I just don't like. It's not that I just think that the inebriation is just too much for Arthur. In my view of Arthur, Arthur would just like throw him out.
But Arthur's just an ordinary guy, right? That's
Right.
the whole deal.
Right, but he just would not be like putting up with.
But we're in the moment where he's throwing him out, right? We're in the that's the whole thing. This is the reason why he's getting.
But he would just
one-on-one.
continue it through. That's the point. That
Maybe he
I'm trying
does.
to make.
Maybe he does.
And then that's why. Then that's.
Maybe a card is left. Maybe he gets a message, right? Neo first rejects several messages asking him to do his deal. If you really feel that, but like we just have that moment of the call out to action, or not of the call. We just have that moment of.
Because I was thinking, okay, so we do that, and then because he could still be a free agent that way. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If that way if he rejects, I think it's better if he rejects them.
What if they just say there's a bounty, and he just is aware of the bounty? Then he's not working for them, whatever. But it is like you never know if he's going to sell them out. And that's a more of an outlaw type of deal anyways. Like there was a bounty on Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's like $2 million bounty or something like that. Or $10 million bounty.
Yeah, I was going to say like 20 or 10.
Yeah, it's like...
That's the kind of deal those viruses companies are doing anyway.
That'd be the type... Yeah, that'd be it. And then he leaves a card.
Yeah.
But he gets kicked out.
Gets kicked out, but he tells Arthur he knows who he is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Arthur's like in a... Yeah.
Arthur's in. That's why he kicks him. He kicks him out. Also,
yeah.
Like he it's. He sees it as a threat, and he's like, "Don't you be threatening me." And
right. More wily than he seems, he tells Arthur he knows who he is, lets him know that he's offering a bounty. It's like a crypto. Maybe that's also his deal. Like, oh, he's back, and it seems like he has no resources, but he does have like a ton of crypto that he was mining in wherever he was, like in Bolivia. And then it's a thing that's part of this heist is getting that crypto off of him. Part of like the end season heist. Because it's something like, like 150 million.
I'm really liking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it also is...
Just sets up because how does he have powers now, right? He doesn't have an organization. He doesn't have anything. He's fully, like the sheriff himself is fully rogue, offering this bounty.
No.
Maybe by the end of the season.
That's the mid-season.
What? Oh, okay, yeah.
The mid-season is him... So, yeah, no, this goes 10 episodes.
Okay.
Okay, because the mid-season would be them going after the sheriff. And, like, it is this whole entire thing, and they fail.
Okay.
It seems like they're going to walk away with this crypto, and they fail.
Right.
But they never, like... They never really were going after the crypto. That was just the red herring. What they really were going after was like this account or this password type thing that is essentially like where all the like Panama Papers type thing
exactly.
was, like funneling through. And then they actually got that amount of money, which was billions of dollars instead.
But it also went out to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's through Nottingham, right? Like I think Nottingham somehow ties back into the sheriff by that.
No, that's essentially it. Is everybody who had Nottingham installed on their computer.
Yeah.
Like their bank account, like the money just got funneled and like got spread like it spread like a virus.
Yeah, and it's what's it called? Yeah, because Nottingham. It's not everyone who had Nottingham on their computer, but it was facilitating payments into and out of the Caymans. It was facilitating, part of its whole division was facilitating like tax haven stuff, and all of that gets taken out because that got taken. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I mean. That's how you end the first season.
Yeah, and
it has to be big.
And they don't steal the sheriff's Bitcoin, but he's one of those people who loses their password forever. Like they destroy the key somehow. Like he gets it back and he's gloating, but part of the end is they're destroying the key, so he's just lost. I mean, it's just garbage. I like that as like a. They don't actually get that still, but it is like in part of the big scheme. That's part of it.
They just changed his password?
Or like whatever it's on a key that he can't get. Like they don't change his password because no one has it anymore. It's whatever. It's like a generated string that they wipe out or whatever. You know what I mean? When those people kind of forget their password or whatever, and then
because
if they change the password, they should just take the money and distribute it.
I feel like there's a scene just to give a call out to. I feel like you do a scene where the sheriff is sleeping, and like they change they go into his place and change the
USB key.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Because that's like a call back to the
Disney movie.
Yeah. I know it's not the sheriff in that, but
it is, isn't it?
No, it's the king.
Oh, okay. Well, we do have the king in the season.
In season 2.
Season 2, yeah. No, because King Richard is in Nottingham in this one, right?
Is he? I can't remember that.
Because we had talked about how in season 1 the plot is to, in the flashback things, the plot is to take out the leader and replace the Prince John and bring back King Richard. But then the thing was, King Richard was just as bad as Prince John. You know what I mean? Like that's the. So I think King Richard is the thing in Nottingham now. Still after that. Yeah. 10 million. Arthur throws. This makes a lot more sense too because he's brushed past. It justifies his brushing past with the Merry Men earlier that day, because it is like, he doesn't want to work for, but he does. Maybe he has more of a lead than anyone else on them. You know what I mean? Like out, but at the end of scene pondering the bounty notice. I'm going to put Sheriff of Nottingham, Ron Perlman. He lived on a compound in America for 20 years and has become a kind of wild warlord type. He already showed some signs this back in while on his compound he mined $150 million worth of
crypto.
Then we can also make our own crypto, right? That's like crowns or something that does or like pounds or pence or something. You know what I mean? Like that, like harkens back to that again.
Diggies.
No, definitely not.
Little Diggies.
Lion coin.
Lion coin. Ooh.
Because like Dogecoin, right? Like we could even go we couldn't, but we could even go as far as having like the
Hearts.
Hearts?
Yeah, because it's Lion and Heart.
Oh yeah.
And he was supposed to be the heart.
That's right.
So
and
Hearts, formerly known as Lions.
No, they didn't have.
I know.
Crypto,
I'm just like...
Yeah. Now accused of murder in.
Murder.
Yeah. Return to the states to make.
You want to be murder?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not like he's wanted for murder. It's like everyone kind of knows he probably did it, but he's paid off the cops and he just kind of got away. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's questions of murder. Again, we're not gonna say the name, but this is exactly taken from the guy that I was basing it on.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't. I feel like we can do something better than murder.
Like what? And this is something we're never going to see. This isn't like in neither season because it's happened in between.
I feel like we'd be almost better to Roman Polanski it.
I don't. We could, but I don't necessarily.
I know.
That's another one, by the way. If you're looking for auteur movies
No.
and you don't care about, implications and stuff, you don't want to lose Rosemary's Baby. Don't throw Rosemary's Baby out with the Roman Polanski bathwater. Bam! Nailed it.
Nope.
Look, you're going to cost yourself Sharon Tate's... No, not Sharon Tate. Whoever it is, like, that actress...
Sharon Tate.
Yeah, you're going to cost yourself Sharon Tate's, like, best role because her husband was a dick? No. No, people worked on that.
I know.
It's an adaptation of a novel. That guy wrote that book.
What am...
Rosemary's Baby, Z439 Core 000. I recommend.
Coral.
In episode 2.
Go check it out.
Nice. Yeah, I think he's going to like it. And also, if you're just getting into movies, I know we talked about Tarantino earlier. Pulp Fiction is my favorite. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Going back to this Roman Polanski, Sharon Tate we're talking about. I just read the book too, but
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what I originally thought you were gonna say.
That's a movie for people who love movies. Like, yeah, it's a real tribute to that time period. In episode 2, Arthur wakes up and he is in a state of high anxiety that someone knows his identity. Is he going to decide to... He's not going to hunt the Merrymen right away. Is he going to go back to his whatever score he was doing, or is he going to start burning stuff?
The Merrymen have to know
About the bounty.
about the bounty.
I think...
if Little John is, like, we wanted to have Little John be on the inside.
Little John is in the scene, although we don't know and he doesn't get any focus. Little John is in the scene with the Sheriff of Nottingham. Faux show.
Yeah.
Like, that's a necessity for me.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Little John is... We're not going to find out who Little John is for a couple episodes, but Little John is deep in... We should take him for granted as a character that's not related to any of this, but is just in Arthur's life.
So he doesn't know... Does Little John know Arthur is a big hacker?
Yes. He's undercover.
So they're trying to...
Well, no, Little John's not working with the Merrymen anymore, so maybe not, right? Like, or he kind of is. I don't think he really is. He's kind of half out of it, but he must be still somewhat in, because they're not trying to recruit him. Maybe they are. No, they are. Little John's still in it. It's just Maid Marian that's not in it anymore, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's trying to recruit him, though.
No. Just keeping an eye on him.
No, I think it just happens to be... No, I think that's it. I think it's more of a happenstance. I think he just happens to use that bar.
Okay.
That's just his place to go. That's just where Little John
But he knows who it is.
knows who is.
Arthur. He knows Arthur is whatever his hacker title is. For sure. I do want it to be he's undercover a little bit, even if he's not trying to recruit.
Okay, how long has he been in Arthur's life?
Probably a while, I think. It doesn't have to be.
Because here's the thing. What if the heist... What if we show, like, that's how we bring Arthur... Like, Arthur was working on a big heist.
Right.
And Little John actually was there to kind of, like, bypass the... Like, so that all... Like, by being there manually, he could actually cut off the link and it would funnel to him instead. And they were able to steal the money right from underneath
But now,
Arthur's eye.
when they actually do come against each other, I don't think this counts as that. I think that works perfectly. But when they do come against each other, Arthur has to win for me. Arthur has to beat the Merry Men soundly once before he joins them.
Yeah, okay, so this isn't... This has to be one of those things of it's pennies. It has to be that while, like, they don't... Again, it's not about actually... They're not about actually stealing the money.
Right. They want the data.
So they're... What they did is they wait, like... Because Arthur has, like, tight clothes, like, stuff all in. But it has to be open, like, when he gets, like, to get the money and all that, that's when he's vulnerable. Like, there's a few seconds where he's vulnerable if you're manually there.
Right.
And that's why he was there.
Got it.
And it's just to, like, put a bug on, so it's...
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't
Okay.
know. Something that like, it
Yeah,
was to break his firewall.
He needs to be physically there for sure. To interrupt whatever he's doing. Or whatever, like, yeah. He crosses paths with them. It does... The only way for Little John to be there means they have to be... It can't be exactly what I was picturing in my head.
What?
It can't be just like a passing encounter there in that whatever...
No, I think Little John has been playing the... Like, I think the difference between the two is Little John's been playing the long game.
Right.
Little John made friends with him, found out that that's how his... Like, kind of, like... Found out that's how, like, who he is. Like, they already knew who he was. They found out what he was doing. They were able to, like... This was, like, the long... Like, as I said, they're all about playing the long game of the Merry Men.
Right. Yeah, and giving them a small victory now makes it better. He has to basically get his big victory episode 2 or 3. Right? Like, that's the thing. So giving them a small victory now makes it fun for him to turn the tables on them as well. Yeah. Okay.
But we don't know if it's a small... Like, do we know that this is what happened? I feel like we show this in, like, kind of like a flashbacky type thing instead.
Oh.
That's how it... Like, we just are explaining this. I don't know. Because we don't really want to tell...
No, let's start like James Bond. Let's start in it.
So we want to tell more from the Merry Men's perspective.
No, we're only telling from...
Little John's.
No, from Arthur's.
That's what I mean. So how do you tell that story unless you tell it through flashbacks later on of him getting... Like... Because I don't want him to realize that his firewall's been broken into.
Yeah, I think it's just they're always one step ahead of me. I think that's it. Like, how are they doing this? And maybe we do later, but I don't even think we need to flash back to it. I think Little John could be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's you? But I also think, like, Little John, we don't find out as Little John even after he joins the Merry Men for a couple episodes. Like, I really want to hold that one close. I want to see Little John the screen name and see Little John the character and think they're two different people for a while.
Okay. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
We've been on that Little John. Yeah, I'm just not...
What?
There has to be something else then that brings Little John in,
Okay.
like to Arthur's life.
Okay. That's the problem. Is really I want to. I do.
I could picture him being almost a mentor type thing, but I feel like that's too much.
Too much. Yeah, I agree. It feels too much. We want him to be a solitary character. We want Little John to be one of the people he tolerates in his life, not one of the people he really. You know what I mean? Like one of the few people who's around all the time who just knows his name and that kind of like. And I do agree. We can't put Little John so far back in time beyond the beginning of this heist. So he's only... But I also don't want to introduce him in this episode.
Oh! Okay, we don't introduce Little John as this. But what if the first thing Arthur does... No, because the first time we have him meet the Merry Men, he has to take them on. That's right. Never mind.
But no, he can cross paths. You know what I mean? They could be like... See each other from a...
No.
Like, I'm making very physical descriptions, even though this is having a cyberspace, which makes it difficult. But they can see each other's signatures. You know what I mean? They can have a chat. They can send messages back and forth. A little bit. But it can't be a full-on... Like, we've got to be building towards a confrontation, to me. To me, they do want to be needling each other a little bit. In episode 2, Arthur wakes up in a state of high anxiety. Now that someone knows... Now it's... Arthur... spends some time trying to cover his tracks. After a while, while talking to whatever Little John's cover identity is, he mentions that if he ever won the lottery, he would just cash out and leave it all behind. Arthur starts to realize if he makes his one big score, he can burn his identity and live the rest of his life somewhere else. Right? And then that sets up the, one big score. Now, because he has nothing here, and he really had nothing here in the first place. Just as a crappy little internet cafe and an apartment. And they're probably he probably lives above the internet cafe. I kind of like that idea. But it doesn't have to be. Anyways, no, probably below it. And then the thing is the one big score. So now that points his attention at whatever this thing that he's trying to take on the Merry Men for. They're both after. You know what I mean? It gives him a stake. It gives him a little objective for a little while.
Yep.
And also, that's what I would do. If I was him, who was like a very, very, very... I picture him a little bit as Michael C. Hall as Dexter. You mean like a very serious man who's just very good at what he does. Who's really focused in like a plain affect.
Yeah, I kind of pictured him as early Walter White.
Middle Walter White. Like early Walter White is still too goofy. He's still a little bit like too. Although no, you're right because I do want him to be a little bit normal. We had written Ryan Gosling.
Like end of season 1.
Yeah.
Just somebody who is like thinking one step ahead at all times. and sees this and is not afraid to go head first into the.
Yeah, he's definitely that. Like, we had written Ryan Gosling, which is another, like, Ryan Gosling in Drive, like a consummate professional who's just like, I'm just gonna get the job done. You know what I mean? Like, I do like your idea of Walter White though, because it is more of a Mr. Chips. As I said, the whole point of this is he's just a random woodcutter in the legend, right? He's just a random guy they run into, and then he beats them, and then they join.
Yeah, because I think what happens, I think we show. Yeah, so in episode 3, he finds out that he's been hacked.
He's been hacked again.
No, we don't show we showed the hack originally happen on here, but he doesn't notice it. It's maybe something that just the audience notices or something like that.
Okay.
But I think episode 3, or we don't even have to show that the audience knows. I think just we can kind of reveal that in episode 3 we can reveal that's how it happened, when it happened. But we show that he got hacked, and he traces where the hack comes from, and that's how he follows the Merryman.
Right. And so episode 3 is the him versus Merryman, the big battle.
Right.
So really our episode 2 closer is this hack goes to the Merryman.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the... At end of episode 2, he finds that his attempts keep getting spoiled because of a trace has been installed on his system. It leads back to the Merrymen.
Yeah. So anyways, episode 3 would be him going after the Merrymen, trying to play one game ahead, and then going after a big score that he can try to pinpoint onto the Merrymen, that he can throw in reverse and put it onto the Merrymen. Is the whole entire thing.
Okay.
And or at least take the blame off himself by using the Merryman as cover.
Right.
Now he's
successful.
He's successful
because that also worsens the Merryman's starting state when he joins them, which is a nice
right. He's successful, but his whole entire idea is to keep the money for himself.
Right. It's gonna be like the teacher pension fund or something, or that kind of thing, or it's something that some of the Merrymen would never target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it has to also.
And he's gonna keep it for himself. He say.
It has to be something that they wouldn't target, but it has to be something that they're not completely against.
That's fair. It can't be, because it's got to be. He's still gonna give it,
Because it has to be something that he has to give to the poor still, not back to the organization.
But I don't think he's gonna disperse it. I think he's gonna.
No, I think they're gonna. I think that's their. I think they're that's them gonna be convincing him to.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotta be his
decision, his
character story arc. But I also think instead of their usual methods, this is the beginning of the community center. This is the beginning of the
Well, that's what he won't That's what he decides to do instead.
Exactly.
There's a whole. I think there's a whole battle for the whole entire episode, the rest of the season of, what's he gonna do with this money?
Yeah, exactly. With Fire Talk. Even though they kind of win, he's getting kind of friendly. You know what I mean? Half Friar Talk type of message.
I think we just.
Yeah, this is
good.
Okay. So what are you feeling about this so far?
I think it's. What was the other one that we did? Folk songs? No.
Yeah, folk songs.
Folk songs was the last one. I think this is so far leading.
It was definitely the leading. I think this is, even knowing what's left to come, I feel like this is a contender.
Yeah.
feel like, and so we're gonna be off next Monday, maybe the next 2 Mondays. I'm not sure.
We'll see, but I would like to still do.
Yeah, you might try
Monday.
and do-
Next Monday might be a bit different. Not next Monday.
No, the
but
following Monday. Yeah, we might be off for. We'll be off for a week no matter what. And then the week after that, hopefully we'll have something here on the stream, although we're not sure yet.
But we'll be here still.
Yeah, tune in this Thursday, 9:30 Eastern time for the Thursday Night Writers Block, and keep on.
But so it'll be we'll no matter what, we'll definitely be back for.
Oh, thanks. Hit that follow so you know when we're live. Yes.
They have.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, they have.
But we'll definitely be back no matter what on the 23rd.
Right.
Because on the 23rd we'll do a Jackbox.
Absolutely. Maybe even that Monday. We're
When
gonna
do
be
you come? When do you fly back?
on the 30th. You don't fly back until the 24th.
Oh yeah, no. So it's no, never mind. If you're flying back on the 30th, we're not doing I don't know. So we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. We're going on vacation for Scott's going on vacation for a week. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, but we're going to try and make sure there's something in the stream. But look for this place to be a little bit iffy the next week, but certainly we'll be here on Thursday and plenty more to come. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being in the chat. It was really nice to talk to you. And from all of us here at Wannabe Showrunners, don't stop writing.
Don't stop writing.